I didn't ask to be HIV positive, but I am. That's just like saying you deserve to have cancer. I just try not to get into it. It angers me. Oh, trust me, it angers me deeply. But I'm trying, and I educate myself to find better ways to express how I feel because of the fact that I come from a background of alcohol and substance abuse. I'll fight you. So I'm learning and I educate myself so I won't be like the people who are ignorant. I just don't want to be like that.
My last CD4 was just north of 500, somewhere around 525, 530, something like that. And my viral load is undetectable. The worst CD4 count was about 50. And my viral load was 6 digits. I was in a bad way, to say the least.
HIV is a disease that you can contract by body fluids using needles, sharing needles, having unsafe sex. It's a disease that ruins your immune system. You have a certain amount of T cells in your body, which are like fighting cells that help get rid of infections or any kind of illness that you have. And a normal person, I believe, starts at 750 and it goes up to 14. But as your T cells go down, a normal person would get sick and their T cell level would go down, and then after they're finished being sick, it would go right back up. A person with HIV, the T cells go down and they don't bounce back up like a normal person. So every time you get sick, you're knocking down that T cell. The viral load end of it, I have a non-existent viral load. I'm not really too sure what that means. I'm really not. Something about the viral load is what makes you sick. You can have no T cells, very low T cells, and a non-existent viral load in your blood, which will help you not get sick. You don't feel it as much. But when your viral load is high, that's when you get sick, to my knowledge.
What ways do I find to bring up HIV in a conversation? How about, hi, my name is Stephen, I'm HIV positive. That's a real party getter. Oh, did you see that article about HIV? Yeah, I was there. It's time for my HIV pill. I'm great. I have thousands of them. Trust me. There's no easy way to bring it out, but there are ways to bring it out. So I don't accept the fact that you don't know how to get there. You just get there. Do what you got to do.
I had no idea that I would end up being HIV positive, but I still don't want to knowingly infect someone else. I think that even though maybe I wasn't given that opportunity, and the person who infected me may not have known that they were positive, and that's a real possibility. So if you are positive, you need to respect yourself.
A lot of times the people who, in my experience, I've seen, they out when they tricking for drugs and alcohol. That's the primary focus, and a lot of times subconsciously they don't even think about the HIV, because when the drugs calling their name or the alcohol is calling them or whatever the DOC is calling, that's the primary focus, and it's not intentionally to try to spread HIV, because they're so consumed and caught up with that addiction that they can't even think about HIV because of the fact they're so caught up in the substance abuse.
Hey, guys, we already know that there's no cure. So use the time that you have left, use it wisely and protect yourself. Because there are ways to protect yourself, even though you're positive.
If you were my friend and you wouldn't take your medication and the doctor was trying to get you to take it, I would just try to talk to you and just tell you, my story, that you need to take it because it's going to make you better. And, it's gonna be okay if if you take it, because like I said, it was scary for me in the beginning too. So just as a friend, knowing, I would just constantly try to convince you to take them, because I went through the same thing. I didn't want to take it. When I finally was asked to take them, I was kind of went through a thing like, oh, this is it, but it's not like that, because the medication is going to help you.
Adherence for me has been, it's not been easy. I can't say it's been easy, but I'm the type of person, they told me I needed to take my medicine and I needed to take it correctly and all the time. I struggled early on.
Adherence is so important. If you really truly want to live a long time with HIV or AIDS, you really have to discipline yourself when it comes to your medication.
Adherence for me in the very beginning was a little rough. And it wasn't until I understood via other people what could happen if I didn't adhere to medication, as far as, medication stopping working, made me say, well, let me just put this into my daily routine. And for me, it's been fairly easy because I've chosen to make it a part of what I do, just like brushing my teeth and combing my hair.
My coping changed as I lived with HIV. When I went into recovery for my alcoholism and my substance abuse, I realized at that particular time that I had to be truthful to myself. And part of being truthful with myself is not to live in denial with HIV and AIDS.
For me, the most difficult thing with living with HIV has been relationships. We as human beings are sexual by nature, and I think everyone wants to be in a loving, nurturing relationship. And about 5 years ago, I had come to the conclusion that I didn't want to date anyone negative, because I didn't want to go through this positive and negative thing and putting a person at risk and going through all the psychological tripping if I unintentionally infected a partner. But then, but I really hadn't found a positive person either that I was interested in. And so I think the main thing, my biggest challenge has been I guess, finding a partner and actually dating.
The things that I thought would kill me actually taught me how to live. And that's real. I mean, had I not been diagnosed with HIV, I may still be out there doing drugs. It's taught me so much about learning about me. It's taught me how to love a little bit better. It's taught me how to listen a little bit better. It's taught me so many things. I've gotten wisdom from HIV. I've learned how to take better care of myself from HIV. I've learned how to eat properly from HIV. I've learned how to be about me. I've learned how to say no. I've learned a lot from HIV, from being positive. And yes, there's been a great change in me.
When I found out that I was positive, it didn't happen overnight, but slowly, through education and adherence, I began to start taking better care of myself. And eventually, I started taking the focus off of everything and everybody else, and I put the focus on me. And I can look in the mirror and I like myself today. And I'm not the monster that I used to be, or I thought I was.